All right then, pals. Welcome to the Milo Show. I guess we live now. After ages, I'm back with the new programs. Actually, today I'm very pleased to have a sort of interview with the band called Wolfcross. Um, Actually, these people gonna play live on Friday in Fredagsmangel. So basically, after we still at the Corona time, but like we somehow actually in Stockholm in Sweden we have these sort of like live gigs happening on a very like specific protocols and stuffs. So it was actually, I was just wondering, it's a great idea to have these sort of interviews and try to like how to say promote people who are doing a great job, and then actually give enough reason to people who live in Stockholm to come over and just support the local gigs. As I said, today I'm gonna interview Wolfcross, Swedish black metal band based in Stockholm. So fingers crossed. Just before I start asking questions and introducing my hosts, actually, I would like to point out this program is live. It's live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So in case you guys have any question, anything you would like to talk about, if you would like to express something, just feel free to put a comment, or there's a chance you can pop into the studio and raise your question yourself. All right, then. We have JB. How you doing, JB? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm very pleased to have you around. Thank you for being here for the interview with the Milo Show with me, of course.
Thank you for having me.
As I said, you guys gonna play live on Friday in Fredagsmangel. The first question would be like how you introduce yourself, like where the idea come from, who was the first person. So like, no, okay, let's like make a band and then try to like producing music and make albums and be loud out there. How you introduce yourself?
Mm, well, I started Wolfcross uh, many years ago. First as a project. It was never from the beginning. It wasn't meant to be a real band. I was just going to record music and release it. Then after a couple of years, I saw that people appreciated my music, so I started looking for a complete lineup, and here we are. Basically, we as a it's a full-time lineup. We haven't really recorded anything yet. We're on our way to do that. But things have been tough
Can you
lately.
please talk a bit louder? Because there's like a little problem with the sound. If you just talk a bit louder, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
A little bit louder, okay?
A bit louder, yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Wolfcross is a black metal band, basically. There's uh, there's very different opinions on what black metal is today. I mean, you have bands across a very wide spectrum, sounding very differently, but I think we fit in there. We're a black metal band, basically. You have to listen to us and judge for yourself.
Yeah, actually, I'll try to. I will try to like play one of your songs in continue of the interview. But the thing is, like, you guys like depends how you see black metal. What does black metal means to you then? I mean, why you thought it's sort of like a great idea to have like a sort of like a black metal band, and then try to be loud out there. First of all, what does black metal mean to you personally?
To me, black metal is it's basically heavy metal but amplified. You know, everything is turned up. You have the music is faster, it's more intense. The lyrical content is a little bit more serious on some notes. It doesn't have to be, but it usually is. You deal with pretty dark subjects. And a lot of people think black metal started in Norway with murders and church burnings and stuff, but it actually started in the 1980s. With regular heavy metal bands wanting to play darker and faster and more evil sounding music. And I think that is really where much of my inspiration comes from, because this music can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. For some people, it's just music. For others, it's a way to describe our way of life, almost. And for me personally, I think it's just it's the ultimate form of expression for metal.
Yeah. And like, I mean, what is, I mean, as a sort of like a vocalist and someone who is in charge of the Wolf Cross band, what is special in your point of view about your band? Why people should listen to your stuff?
I think a lot of the black metal bands today, they go for a sound. You can tell right away it's this band, but you can't really tell their songs apart. I think a lot of bands today, they have a sound, and then they use this sound for 9 tracks that sounds the same, and then they make an album. I very much try to make a different types of songs. If you think like about like older bands, like classical rock bands, like Deep Purple. On a Deep
Mhm.
Purple album, you can have like everything from proto metal sounds with double bass drums to like funk songs and the pop songs and rock songs and blues songs and everything in between. It will still sound like Deep Purple, you know.
Yeah.
And that is something I want to do with Wolfcross, but with black metal instead. Black metal, like I said, it's a wide spectrum of different sounds. It can be the epic and slower Viking inspired stuff. It can be really fast and almost thrash metal music as well, and everything in between. So
I see.
I don't want to get stuck in a sound as much. I want to make as varied songs as possible, but it will still sound like Wolfcross. And I think that that appeals to a lot of people.
Yeah, but JB, you are the one actually making the lyrics and like, I mean, and like put it on like harmony and melodies. As far as I know, I mean, you are the first man and like the one who is in charge of most of the things happening with the band. Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
because
The thing is, before actually I just go to like some of the songs you've made. So far, you guys been made one album, Storm of Black Salvation is called. I will talk about it in a couple of minutes. But my question at the moment would be, um, as I said, there are like so many black metal, specifically in Stockholm, in Scandinavia. Local bands, big names like I don't know Mayhem or like some other big names. The thing is, why you guys thought it's about time to have a band? Because as you said, like it was supposed to be like some sort of other projects, but all of a sudden, like you guys are running this band, and then like where I mean, what was the motivation at the first point?
I think it's a logical step. For me at least. It started. I didn't start out as a musician. I started out as a fan, listening to music, and then when that interest grew strong enough, then it was a natural progression to start making my own music.
Yeah,
And the same thing with Wolfcross. Like I said, it started with me just making songs and releasing them, and it was never meant to be anything more than a project. But things grow and evolve, and it was the logical next step to take to make this into a real band, basically, because I had record labels wanting to release my music. I had people asking me to play live shows, so it just felt like it was a logical next step to take to make this a real band. And
makes sense. The other question would be, I have a question about the name of the band, Wolfcross. I mean, where the name come from? Because I was just thinking, let me just like tell you what I had in mind. Like Wolf, the animal, is like, for me, is like there's a symbol of the person, or like a character, I would say, who fights for the rights. I mean, who stand on the, how to say, correct side of the history. And then like cross is like Jesus Christ, so it's like a wolf, or like someone who always like fighting for the bare world, or maybe like, I don't know, like a superhero, something like that. And then that guy is on crust. That's how, I mean, I was thinking about the name. What I mean, how it can be interpreted. But what's your point of view about the name of the band? What does it mean, really, Wolfcross?
Yeah, well, the name it's come from actually from this symbol, the vargkors, as we call it in Sweden. This is a
Yeah,
wolf, and this symbol is a bit disputed. Some people say it's a Christian cross, but it's actually a type of Thor's hammer. There's an old
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard
sword
about it.
that looks like this. So it really has nothing to do with the cross. It should say wolf hammer, but it's in the common tongue of people, it's a wolf cross. But to me, the wolf cross resembles the old ways, the pagan ways of our ancestors. And the wolf is, of course, a symbol of Odin, who was the king of the gods in the old pantheon of, my Scandinavian ancestors, of course. And I chose that name for the band. It was a simple reason. I had made 5 songs for my first demo. I had a couple of them, and one of them was Wolfcross, the song. And I think that one turned out really good compared compared to the others. It sounded like it sounded like a song that you name a band from, with the chorus
Mm.
and everything. So I choose that name for the band from that song because I'd written a
Yeah, it's
song
very
about.
creative. If you ask me, it's very creative. I like it. Yeah, all right. You guys, actually, it's like a, 4 member sort of band. JB, you're playing the bass, and you're also the vocal.
Yes,
And you have Delirious as a guitar. If I'm mistaken with the names, you can correct me. Annette also plays guitar, and
yes,
Nuburius plays the drum.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, as I said, guys, these people gonna be live on Friday, at Fredagsmangel. So you can get in and watch them live. It's a really cool environment, with drinks, with people. So I do recommend all of you guys. First of all, subscribe and like Wolfcross on Facebook, and then attend the gig. All right, you guys actually have this album called Storm of Black Salvation. Tell me more about it. I mean, you told me there was like a project, and then it turned out to be an album.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, what's the story behind it?
So that album is a collection of the demos I made when it was still just a project. You know, um, it's the first demo had 5 songs, and then I made a second demo that was supposed to be a split CD from the beginning. I was supposed to release it as a split CD with a Mexican band called Satanic Rites 3.
Yeah,
That unfortunately never materialized because the record company that was in charge of that release, they I don't know, they screwed it up basically. So unfortunately, nothing happened there. Uh, so then I had these 4 new songs that I didn't know what to do with, so I released them as a second demo instead. And then a record company contacted me and wanted to re-release my first demo, Storm of Black Salvation. And I told them instead that include all the songs I've made, and you can have an album instead. So that's what they did.
yeah, yeah, cool. By the way, Emil is watching, Nils is watching, and some other guys. Hello there. As I said, this program is live, so if you have any question, or if you like to express yourself, feel free to put comments, or you can just pop in into the studio. Just let me know if you like to be on the studio. Uh, this actually, Storm of Black Salvation can be seen, if you just give me a second, can be seen through YouTube. Just give me a second, as you guys can see. Yep. As you can see, you can just go there. It's on Black Metal Promotions. There's like a full, like the full album can be heard over here. It's like almost 25 minutes. I like these songs. Play after 21. It's a really heavy one. Good melody and harmonies. Very like a high tech sort of music, if you ask me. And then it's really like worth to be discovered. Let me just like get rid of this. Yep, screenshot. Yep, and then tell me, like, I had my next question would be about these songs, Dogs Big. Is it almost? I mean, this song is also like a part of the Storm of Black Salvation album, or just like some sort of like EPs or like something that you
Mhm.
done it.
That was one of the songs I intended for the split CD. That was released as the second demo. Um, that song is well, it's special because the one it's in Swedish, the lyrics. I have another song in Swedish as well called Aska. I like to mix it up a little bit to have lyrics in both Swedish and in English. But that song, Dödsvig, it's about how Odin brought war into the world during because how he did it according to Nordic mythology. He threw his spear, Gungnir, over the enemy army, and by doing so, uh, he made them he made the whole battlefield a ritual sacrifice unto him. And as the I don't know if there are any historical records of it, but some people, at least, or some books I've read, they say that during the Viking Age and stuff, when they believe in those gods, before going to war or into battle, they would symbolically throw a spear towards the enemy army, and by doing so, the battlefield became hallowed to Odin, and everyone who died became a sacrifice to Odin, and that is what the song is about.
Yep, so cool. Right. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna play some of these, some seconds of the Dog Suite. If you just give me a second, I will try to find that video. It should be over here. Yep. All right then. Sorry for all like interrupting music. Actually, as I said, like I'm not playing the whole time, but that was like just some seconds. You can find it on the YouTube, or if you just like go directly to the Wolfcross Facebook page, you would find actually the video. You guys are on SoundCloud. You have I mean, you have a page on the archive website, and I'm pretty sure you can find it on some other platforms, like live streaming music and stuff. Would be easy to find you guys. All right. Beside the gigs you're gonna play on Friday on Fredagsmangel, do you have any other gigs planned? I mean, this is like a Corona time. I know, like most of the gigs and events being cancelled already. But I mean, do you have any other plan for the live performances?
Not at the moment, no. We we are focusing on finishing songs to record to make a full album.
Yeah, essentially it's the time, and since like most of the like events and festivals are cancelled, and even like in the bars that they play the live gigs, I mean you have to sit down, you have book tables, and it's very restricted, so it's really tough time to go for the live gigs at the moment. I mean it's a proper time to just go for the recording. So do you have any plan for a new album or like a few new records you can just like talk to the audiences and like promise that like I have this album that's gonna be out on this specific day?
We don't have a release date yet, but we have 9 songs finished for an album,
Mm-hmm.
and in some ways it feels like this will be a debut album. I mean, we released some of the Salvation as a compilation, but that's a compilation to them, you know. So this will be the first time anyone hears Wolfcross the band as opposed to Wolfcross my solo project, you know, because having a full band, you know, with the other members and having their creative input, that has done a lot. I can tell you for our sound, and because me, I'm fairly limited, especially as a guitar player. You know, I can write riffs and some simple melodies and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
having 2 real guitar players and having their input, and a drummer who can be way more creative than me, because I program all the drums on the Soul Black Salvation album. But having a real drummer, you know, who can then have his input and stuff, that makes a huge difference. So I'm very excited to, hopefully before the year is over, we will begin
Yeah.
entering the studio to record the album. And I'm really looking forward to share that with people, because it will be a huge step forward for us as a band and for our sound. And I think people will notice that as well.
Yep, yep, interesting. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Actually, fingers crossed for that. As I said, like no, it's a very specific time, so it's like a bit to just like be in the studio and like do actually some recordings. Right. Anything else would you like to talk about? Like, do you have any like in case like people would like to support you? Like, how can they find you? How can they like buy your T-shirts, your DVDs? Like, how can people support you, generally speaking?
Well, we don't have that much available right now, you know. On Friday on the show, we will be selling T-shirts, and we will be selling Song by Salvation, the album, of course. But other than that, I think the record company, Narcoleptica Productions, who released Song by Salvation, I think you can buy it from them online. But we don't have an official online store or anything like that.
Yeah.
Also because we're a small band, but also because, in a way, I like to keep it a bit underground and simple. You know, of course, I want people to discover my music, but for me, it's also important that it's the right kind of people. You know, when you play a show like Fredagsmangel on Friday, you know, you will have people there that actually wants to be there and listen to the music and appreciate it. And that means a lot more to me than having like thousands of listeners on Spotify or something that doesn't really care. For them, you're just another band. You know,
Yeah.
I want people to actually care.
That's a really fair point, actually. Guys, if you like someone, if you like your artist, you have to support them. Fredagsmangel, for example, is a bar running these events. They need to be supported. So, like, move your butts on Friday and be there on Fredagsmangel and watch the live gigs. Buy the T-shirt and try to support your local bands. The more that you support, actually, the artists would have enough, would actually get, I mean, more reasons and more motivation to create stuff. So it's really important that you support. As JB said, like there's thousands of people watching and listening the stuffs on the internet, but no one really cared about the financial thing. So it's important that you support the band that you like. One last question, JB. I know that
Yeah.
we are at the Corona time, and like there are so many people like doing things online, watching through the internet, YouTube, and like so many other platforms. There are like people like come across or like discover more black metal bands, Scandinavian, I mean Scandish, I would say bands and stuff. How you see the future for the like a black metal band, black metal as a genre? I mean, this is my favorite question. I like almost ask it in every interviews I have. I mean, what do you think about the future of the black metal genre? As I said, we actually experiencing a very specific time. People are home, most of them, and like they have more time to discover bands through the internet. How you see the future? Black metal gonna rise or it's gonna go down?
I think black metal is, as with any other metal genre, at this point it's so firmly established that it will never go away. It will always be here in some form. And of course, the COVID, the epidemic, it has changed a lot of things for a lot of bands. The music industry it was dying before the epidemic, and I think something will have to give. Either bands will disappear in the form we know them now, or they will have to change.
Yeah.
Because big bands today, they have to tour constantly to get around. If you compare like to say for like in the 1990s, for instance, I think Metallica was in Sweden like 3 times during those 10 years. Now they're here every other year because they have to be constantly on the road to tour because they don't get any money from record sales anymore. Because with the internet and all the streaming services and stuff, record sales have gone down. There's no money in the music industry anymore, really. And now, when you have taken away, the tours as well, um, there's no music industry left, really. But underground bands and new bands will always be here. People will. I will at least. I will make music my entire life in some way, perform, and we have to find new ways of doing it and adapt. Because I'm a skeptic and a bit of a pessimist, so I don't think we will see much tours or festivals next year either. And beyond that, who knows? Really, there might not. Many of the bands we take for granted today that we have and that you can see on festivals and tours every year, they might not be around anymore because they might not. It's not sustainable to be a professional band and live on your music when there's no income anymore. You have no tours, you have no record sales. What's left? Nothing. And then you have to either change the industry or you have to change the way you approach being a band. For me, personally, I have a job and all of that stuff. The band for me is a hobby. It's something I can do just because I like it. I don't have to make music. I make music because I want to. It's part of who I am. And I think we will see a lot more of that going forward in the future. Musicians who make music because they want to and because they have a passion for it and they burn for it to be creative and do this. And a lot of their so-called commercial bands and that side of the industry, that I think will disappear.
Yeah. Actually, we are like, as you said, they're like, we are at the pandemic at the moment, so there's not much things happening. But like, I was before the pandemic, I was just noticed there are like big appetite for black metal in the countries that don't. We like always considering these countries that they don't really listen to metal at all, like countries in Middle East, like Far East, Africans and stuff. I know so many like bands coming from Middle East, they playing black metal. So I think like we as soon as we get rid of this pandemic, they're gonna be like more bands and more people actually like be focused and interested in black metal. More bands will be pop out. Jennifer is asking, is there any future tours planned with the Wolfcross? I think we answered this question. Um, uh, as far as I know, it's like sadly no, but hopefully soon we get rid of this pandemic, we're gonna see more of Wolfcross playing live, I guess, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'll I'll play anywhere they will have me. You know, if
Yeah,
you want to book Wolfcross for a show, we will be there. If we don't, we have no no obstacles, so to speak. I mean,
yeah,
if you can make it happen, we will be there. And I mean, a lot of people, especially during how it was before the epidemic. Now, no one is booking anything, but before the epidemic, I mean, a lot of bookers and festivals and stuff like that, they go with the same bands, the established bands. I would love to see someone who dares to put more underground bands on their bill and have a lineup, having more unknown and smaller bands open for bigger acts on their tour and stuff like that. But like I said, that's part of how the industry works today.
yeah. All right, cool. Anything else would you like to talk about? I would like to remind again, guys, this Friday, Fredagsmangel Wolf Cross is gonna be live. If you don't know about if you don't know about the how to say the Fredagsmangel, I'm gonna show you how you can find these people on Facebook. So yeah, put your butts out, come out. If you like, you can wear a mask, but just being there, try to support the band, yeah, and then support the local bars. It's run by a really cool friend of mine, Nils. Very good people, very good environment, and I'm pretty sure you guys would like it. So pop in and be there, advertise for the gig, and try to do as much as you can. All right. Uh, I think that's for today. Thank you, JB. Thank you for being here. Best luck for you guys on Friday. I'm going to be there. So I'm going to see you around with you guys. And best of luck. Yeah.
See you on Friday.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a nice one. Cheers.